For our volunteer project, we decided to work with the Humane Society of Naples, which is a nonprofit no-kill shelter. Our group completed a remote service learning opportunity creating animal enrichment items for the pets that are in the shelter. Our first step in this process was to buy fleece blankets and fabric from a secondhand store to repurpose into dog beds, cat beds, and snuffle mats. Approximately 6 to 8 million animals end up in shelters every year, but only 3.2 actually get adopted. This is why it was so important for us to make sure that these animals are comfortable in the shelter with their dog beds and cat beds. In addition to supporting life on land, we also had a main focus on responsible consumption and production, and that's why we chose to use secondhand fabrics, which would otherwise be burned off in landfills, releasing harmful emissions into our atmosphere. To make a snuffle mat, I'm using fabric scissors to cut my fleece into 1-inch strips. These are going to be cut down again, so they're about 9 inches long, and then I started tying them to my sink mat in double knots. The volunteers at the Humane Society will sprinkle treats in the snuffle mats, so it's kind of like a scavenger hunt for the dogs, which is really important because it mentally stimulates them while they're in the shelter because there's not too many other things going on. As a group, we were able to relate our volunteer experience back to a reading that we had in class about the 11th. The reality of things is that there are millions of dogs in shelters, and although we couldn't completely solve that issue, we did contribute to positive change in our local community with our local shelter.
We had originally set a goal to create and donate 40 refurbished animal enrichment items to the Naples Humane Society shelter. We collectively made 43 items. This marked a success in our group project as we were not only able to meet, but we exceeded our goal of 40 animal enrichment items. This consisted of 19 dog beds, 16 cat beds, as well as 3 snuffle mats for the shelter to entertain their dogs throughout the day. These items will have a lasting impact over at the Naples Humane Society. Given that they have so many rescues, both cats and dogs, these snuffle mats and beds will be continuously reused until they have no more use. These also have a lasting impact on nature as they are waste-free and come from recycled materials.
Making beds for dog and cat as we perform community service can feel like too much to handle. In addition to work, school, and personal life, we overcame many obstacles to complete this project, including the departure of a group mate due to a disagreement regarding communication. Instead of looking at this as a step back, we chose to look at this change as a blessing. Our group communication improved and working together became more fun as we began to rely on each other in this incredible support of our parents, co-workers, and loved ones. Their assistance, which was a helping hand, made our different schedule bearable, and making pet beds for the community give one a sense of purpose. Despite obstacles, the support made difficult moments into a mutually beneficial achievements.
This project helped all of us further develop our critical thinking skills, and we also learned a few lessons in the process. One of the skills that we had to employ throughout our service learning journey was engaging in civic dialogue. We engaged in civic dialogue during discussions with the representatives from the organizations we contacted and between different group members, especially during moments of conflict. We also had to use critical thinking and problem-solving skills to help resolve group disputes, scheduling conflicts, and clarifying individual task responsibilities. Like most group collaborations, we experienced some hardships and ultimately some failures too. As a group, there were several moments in our collaboration when we lacked the necessary communication skills. We failed to allocate the time and attention necessary to form a cohesive unit. However, we were able to overcome this failure by dedicating more of our personal time towards working together, compromising on various matters, and picking up additional responsibilities when necessary.
There was also some occasional issues in the beginning when we were making our cat beds where they'd come out a little too small, but we overcame them and moved on to the next.
I got my cats right though.
The foundational elements that influenced our service learning project were associating and service to others. We learned how to connect with various organizations throughout our local communities. Some of the organizations that we explored previously included Our Mother's Home and ACT. We were then able to settle on working with the Humane Society of Naples. We were able to service this organization by directly contributing to the amount of animal enrichment items used to provide comfort and stimulation to animals residing within their shelter. So now I'm working on the dog bed. We have about 5 sheets right here. So I'm doing the next one to make 6, so that'll be about 3 dog beds. So I just cut the first one, I'm about to cut the second one. I really like this fabric, so I think I'm going to make it's 2 separate sheets to make one bed. So I think I'm just gonna make one bed with its print. And I also love that it's like a Christmas print because I think it's like perfect, lines up for the holidays. Once we had all of our animal enrichment items finished, we put our items together and took them to the Humane Society Naples, which is about half an hour away from FDCU. We completed individual summaries of our experiences, which consisted of the work we completed, our knowledge of their facility, and the impact the service learning had on us. It was so fulfilling to know that we helped make this holiday season a little cozier for our furry friends.